I want to share some thoughts about a type of intelligence that I think everybody wants, but I also think is quite underappreciated by society because there doesn't seem to be a big financial pull to possessing this type of knowledge. And despite a lot of people wanting it, I also think people just don't know how to get it. The way I have traditionally understood intelligence has been within the bounds of subjects of our educational system. Okay, so when I was a student going through school, I wanted to be smart, really good at math, or really good at science, or really good at everything, right? And that if I could do that, if I could come out on top and have really good grades, then I would be smart. And the advantage, right, of being smart or good at one of the subjects in our education system is that they translate well, for the most part, to careers. So let's say you're good at math and you study math, then you can have a career as an economist or a professor of math. Or if you study one of the sciences, right, you can become a lab scientist. All of these types of intelligence very obviously translate into something in the world, right, that has a financial compensation. But in my more recent years, I have become increasingly in awe of people who know themselves really well. Call it whatever you will. I'm just gonna call this a high level of self-awareness. Now, when I went to school, I never had a class called Understanding Who You Are, okay? And as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't exist. There is no big incentive for really understanding yourself, right, out in the world in terms of making money. The closest thing I can think of is being an artist, right? Because that's exactly what an artist does. An artist expresses themselves in some sort of way, but to be able to do that, they have to understand what's going on in their mind, right? And kind of dig deep into themselves. That's not necessary if you are gonna become an economist or a NASA scientist. Now, when I am in awe of some quality that a person possesses, which in this case is a really deep understanding of who they are, I want to have that quality as well. And so I've been thinking about this a lot. Now, I said that a lot of people want this knowledge, but are not quite sure how to get it. And what I mean is that if you tell someone, get to know yourself, it sounds really awesome in theory, but it's also very abstract. How do you do that? I wanted to find ways to make this more tangible. And that's what I'm going to share in this video, which is actually going to be the first video of a series. And look, the only authority I have over this topic is that it's relevant to my life. I've spent some time thinking about it and creating a sort of roadmap for myself. So why not throw it out there and put it out in public, because who knows who might find this useful. And so when thinking about making this more tangible, right, getting to know yourself, the first thing I think about is from the moment we come into this world, we are born into identities, whether or not we like it. We are born into a family. This family has some ethnicity. You also have a geographic origin. Your family came from somewhere on this earth. Also, you might have two geographic origins because maybe you were born in a place different than where your family came from. You might be born into a religion, and this religion has origins somewhere. Do you see what I'm getting at? It is through the pursuit of understanding the origins of your identities that you're going to learn a lot about both yourself and the world. Now, I don't want to go too deep into details in this video, and so what I'm just going to leave with is that the first step in this process is making a list of your identities. Someone once told me that any good definition has an example, and so I'm going to use myself. I was born in the US. That makes me American. I come from a Lebanese family, so I'm also Lebanese. I was also born into a Catholic family. I'm also male. Those are 4 identities that I can think of that I was born into. Now, you may pick up more identities over the course of your life. The point here is that the starting point for understanding yourself is to first recognize the identities that you hold. I'm gonna stop there for this video. If you enjoyed listening, you can support me by giving a thumbs up and subscribing. I am, of course, a small YouTube channel, but I really enjoy sitting in front of the camera and sharing these thoughts. And I'm always curious to hear people's responses. Put your thoughts in the comments. In part 2, I'll do a deeper dive into, okay, what do we do once we've listed out our identities? So stay tuned and see you soon.